Welcome back, Honest Man, Skyrim, blind first playthrough. We are here at Darkfall Cave to try to track down a magical bow. Let's get to it.
Who's there?
Oh shit. Yeah, I had a hard time seeing that until it moved. What is going on here? Okay, it's just a dead end. Alright, let's try seeing where we're going for a change. How about that? I'm not going to have much stealth with Serana in tow anyway.
Stay on your guard.
So, may as well get some light going. Ooh. Moonstone. Okay, I think maybe down is the way, actually. Is that how it's looking for you, Serana? We go down? I think we go down. Alright. Spiders there. Yes, fast moving current. Oh, and they came with. Awesome.
That'll teach you.
Okay. We're off to a lively start, I guess. Always gotta check behind the waterfall. Nothing. Okay. Check our sides here. Alright, looks like a pretty narrow corridor. Let's do it to it. Maybe some high ground.
Who's there?
Jesus. Yes, I heard something. Ugh. Alright, I'll check that out later. I was not expecting spiders. But I guess that's a nice change of pace, actually. From all the vampires and whatnot.
These people. Why would anyone want to set up camp here?
Good question. Breton.
I wonder what happened to them.
Sister, I know that you'll come find me, but it will be too late. If you find this letter, get out of this forsaken cave as soon as possible. We were fools to think we could live so close to such creatures and live peacefully. I should have headed back to camp with you after we placed the torches down here. I thought these trolls would be different, that they would somehow understand that we didn't want to hurt them. I am now cornered, and it's only a matter of time before one of the trolls decides to finish me off. I hope it's a quick death. Farewell, my dear sister. Yeah, that didn't end well. But we're gonna have troll trubs apparently. So be ready for that. Do we go up or down? Marker says sideways. That's not helpful. Let's take a peek down first. How about that? This is where the blood trail is. Tripwire that she's going to trip, almost certainly. Good job. Good job. Trying to go left-hand rule a little bit here to not get lost. But this is going
Stay on your guard.
way further than I was hoping. Jesus. Okay, I'm going to double back quick. This looks like the correct way. So I just want to make sure we don't miss anything.
Who's there?
Get down here. There we go. Well, there's that at least. Okay, circling back to the little campsite here, I determined that up is out. And if we look over here, there's a cheeky little chain here hidden behind the lean-to. If Serana would move, this is why I don't like followers. It opened up this passage here, which I believe is a shortcut to the exact same place.
Forward. You have nothing to fear here.
Yeah, we came up on this from the other direction. The trolls were over the opposite way. So this would have been a way to bypass the trolls. What is up with your face? Okay, torchlight was a little too much for his complexion.
I am Knight Paladin Gelabor. Welcome to the great chantry of Auriel.
This cave is a temple to Auriel.
Auriel, Auriel, Halkosh, Akatosh, so many different names for the
Akatosh.
sovereign of the Snow Elves.
Snow elves? Oh, you are a snow elf.
I prefer Snow Elf. The name Falmer usually holds a negative meaning to most
Yes.
travelers.
Kind of racist.
Those twisted creatures you call Falmer, I call the Betrayed.
I imagine you know why we're here?
Of course, you're here for Auriel's bow. Why else would you be here? I can help you get it, but first, I must have your assistance.
Weird. How did you know?
For the thousands of years I've served as the Chantry's sentinel, there hasn't been a single visitor here for any other reason. They request Auriel's bow, and I request their assistance. It's been repeated so many times, I can't imagine it any other way.
And they've all died. What type of assistance?
I need you to kill Archcurate Vertha, my brother.
Why?
The kinship between us is gone. I don't understand what he's become, but he's no longer the brother I once knew.
Like a Falmer?
It was the Betrayed. They did something to him. I just don't know why Auriel would allow this to happen.
What did they do? Make them one of the Falmer?
They swept into the Chantry without warning, and began killing everyone without pause. The Chantry was a place of peaceful worship. I led a small group of paladins, but we were no match for the Betrayed's sheer numbers. They slaughtered everyone, and stormed the inner sanctum, where I believe they corrupted Vertha.
So you don't even know if he's alive? No, he must be alive.
He's alive. I've seen him, but something's wrong. He never looks as though he's in pain or under duress. He just stands there and watches, as though waiting.
Have you tried to enter the sanctum?
Leaving the way shrines unguarded would be violating my sacred duty as a Knight Paladin of Auriel, and an assault on the betrayed guarding the inner sanctum would only end with my death.
Okay. This is the way shrine?
Yes, let me show you.
So this is snow elf magic. Incredible.
This structure is known as a way shrine. They were used for meditation and for transport when the Chantry was a place of enlightenment. Prelates of these shrines were charged with teaching the mantras of Auriel to our initiates.
What's that basin in the center signify?
Once the initiate completed his mantras, he'd dip a ceremonial ewer in the basin at the way shrine's center and proceed to the next way shrine.
So these initiates had to lug around a heavy pitcher of water. Marvelous. How long would they have to do that?
Well, once the initiate's enlightenment was complete, he'd bring the ewer to the Chantry's inner sanctum. Pouring the contents of the ewer into the sacred basin of the sanctum would allow him to enter for an audience with the Archcurate himself.
All that just to end up dumping it out? Makes no sense to me.
It's symbolic. I don't expect you to understand.
So, let's get this straight. We need to do all that nonsense to get into the temples so we can kill your brother and claim Auriel's bow.
I know how it all sounds. But if there was another way, I'd have done it long ago. The only way to get to my brother is by following in the Initiate's footsteps and traveling from way shrine to way shrine, just as they did. The first lay at the end of Darkfall Passage, a cavern that represents the absence of enlightenment.
How many more?
There are 5 in total, spread far apart across the Chantry.
It's all connected by these caves?
Caves? Oh no. The Chantry encompasses far more than a few caves, as you'll soon discover. But before I send you on your way, you'll need the Initiate's ewer.
Great. So I need to fill this at each way shrine?
Once you've located a way shrine, there'll be a spectral prelate tending to it. They will allow you to draw the waters from the shrine's basin, as if you've been enlightened.
Alright.
This may be the last time we're able to converse. If you have any questions before you leave, I suggest you ask them. Otherwise, all I can do now is grant you my hopes for a safe journey.
Survive
Questions?
Darkfall
I
Passage.
expected as much.
What is the Chantry of Auriel?
This is, or was, the epicenter of our religion. Most of the Snow Elf people worshipped Auriel. The Chantry was constructed near the beginning of the First Era to provide a retreat for those that wish to become enlightened.
Most snow elves?
Our empire had temples to some of the other deities. Trinimac, Sirabane, Yffrey, and Finister rounded out the rest. But those temples paled in comparison to the glory of the Chantry and its way shrines.
So the way shrines are part of the Chantry?
Oh yes, they were an important part of the process here. They represented the steps the Initiates took on the path to total enlightenment. Sadly, the magic used to construct these wonders were lost long before I arrived here.
Who are these spectral prelates you mentioned?
They're ghosts of the Snow Elf priests that tended the way shrines before being slaughtered by the betrayed. Through the grace of Auriel, they were restored to their spectral form to enable them to continue their duties.
I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse. Either way, they should be able to help us.
I'm afraid in their current form, they still believe the Chantry to be an active center of worship. They won't respond to you in any way other than believing that you're an initiate and you're undertaking the journey to the inner sanctum.
Who were the snow elves?
We were once a wealthy and prosperous society that occupied a portion of Skyrim. Unfortunately, we were constantly at war with the Nords, who claimed the land as their ancestral home.
Looks like we know how that turned out.
In a manner of speaking. We had always maintained an uneasy alliance with the underground-dwelling dwarves, And when faced with extinction, we turned to them for help. Surprisingly, they agreed to protect us, but demanded a terrible price. The blinding of our race.
Everyone couldn't have agreed to that.
There were splinter groups that resisted the agreement, and even some that sought alternate alliances. But when it was all said and done, those elves were either slaughtered, vanished, or gave up and took the dwarves' bargain.
What turned your people into the betrayed?
I've often asked myself that very same question. The blinding of my race was supposedly accomplished with a toxin. Certainly not enough to devolve them into the sad and twisted beings they've become.
Why weren't the snow elves here affected and blinded?
The Chantry is quite isolated, so it took some time for word of the dwarves' offer to reach us here. By the time the compact had been completed, it was too late for us to even attempt to intervene.
So that's why you still have your sight.
Correct. We only numbered perhaps 100 at the time, so our presence remained a secret to the dwarves and the Nords. Ironically, our undoing came at the hands of our own people.
You mean the betrayed?
Yes. They swarmed the Chantry in vast numbers until we were completely overrun. We never really stood a chance. I assumed that the Archcurate was corrupted by them when they found a way to breach the inner sanctum.
Are there others here like you?
Verther and myself are the only two snow elves that remain. May Auriel light your path.
Alright, let's do it to it. Oh.
That wasn't as unpleasant as I thought it would be. Kind of soothing, actually. I feel a little warmer now.
Weird. Okay. Whoa.
Where'd you come from?
Alright. Now we got bugs. Shit. Former Gloom Lurker. Haven't heard of that before. Alright, stay frosty. Jesus. I feel like it's trying to trap me.
That'll teach you.
There's still something about.
Who's there?
Oh, interesting. That triggered as undead. Oh, it was your summon. You summoned it back. Sorry. My bad. Yeah, I definitely don't trust this space.
Looks like these Falmer are here to stay. They must be. Where'd you come from?
Alright, maybe the counterlight isn't so great after all, but we'll do okay.
Where'd you come from?
Nice.
Who's there? I knew I heard something. Done and done.
Okay. I know you're gonna trip this. You know you're gonna trip this. Just try not to get me killed, alright? Maybe it was just sound.
Where'd you come from? Done and done. Who's there? Be careful here. Whatever's on the other side of this, Palmer wanted to keep it there. Where'd you come from?
Saber cat. Chump. One shot.
Almost doesn't even look real, you know?
Alright, let's find our way down. Deer.
I think that's another way shrine there. Here we go.
Welcome, Initiate. This is the Way Shrine of Illumination. Are you prepared to honor the mantras of Auriel and fill your vessel with his enlightenment?
Mm-hmm.
Then behold Auriel's gift, my child. May it light your path as you seek tranquility within the inner sanctum.
Okay, hopefully these have a little variety, and it's not just kill a bunch of Falmer 5 times. But I'm not super optimistic. We'll see. Well, we're outside. Forgotten Vale.
This is incredible. It's like a whole other world.
You said that
The
before.
bow has to be in this valley somewhere.
We need these water
Where'd you
places first. Way shrines.
More spider? Where'd you come from? Never saw anything like this back on the island.
There we go.
You've arrived at the Way Shrine of Resolution. Are you prepared to honor the mantras of Auriel and fill your vessel with his enlightenment?
Yep.
Then go forth, child. May the enrichment of Auriel strengthen your resolve as you undertake your journey to the inner sanctum.
I'm no fan of the sun. That would be better than this.
Ah, I see. Okay. There we go. There's a guy.
Welcome, Initiate. This is the Way Shrine of Sight. Are you prepared to honor the mantras of Auriel and fill your vessel with his enlightenment?
To the brim.
Then behold Auriel's gift, my child. May it speed your journey to the inner sanctum.
This must be that beautiful Skyrim weather I've always heard about.
May Auriel's light guide you in your darkest hours. You've reached the Way Shrine of Learning, Initiate.
Mm-hmm.
Auriel bless you, child, for you are a step closer to the inner sanctum and everlasting wisdom.
Yeah, we need that. We need that everlasting wisdom, alright.
Let's get indoors. Anywhere, just out of this.
Oh. Couple dragons under the ice? Where's the other one? Never seen him hang like that. What's he doing?
Get back here!
Yeah, come get your medicine. That was a hit. It's got. Must have been. Come on, you gotta land. Come on.
Who's there? I knew I heard something.
Okay. I really hope we get to the end soon, because I've killed like 1,000 Falmer. Oh, thank God.
You found the Way Shrine of Radiance, Initiate. May the blessings of Auriel protect you as you climb the road to the inner sanctum and final enlightenment.
This must be that beautiful Skyrim weather I've always heard about. That has to be the place. I've never seen a building like that before. It looks like some kind of temple. Are you seeing this? It's fantastic. This is a statue of Auriel, but it's using the older signs of his power. This temple must be ancient. The bow has to be in here.
Nice.
These Falmer they're frozen in the ice. I wonder how long they've been like this. And I thought the soul here was creepy. Where'd you come from? You're dead!
Looks like a one-way trip.
Did you really come here expecting to claim Auriel's bow? You've done exactly as I predicted, and brought your fetching companion to me.
Wait, is he talking about me?
Which, I'm sorry to say, means your usefulness is at an end.
I knew I heard something.
Really?
An impressive display, but a wasted effort. You delay nothing but your own deaths.
know we can. He's up there on the balcony. Come on.
Give him the old flank.
Enough, Further. Give us the bow.
How dare you? I was the arch-curate of Auriel, girl. I had the ears of a god.
Until the betrayed corrupted you. Yes, we've heard this sad story.
Gelibor and his kind are easily manipulated fools. Look into my eyes, Serana. You tell me what I am.
You're a vampire? But Auriel should have protected you.
The moment I was infected by one of my own initiates, Auriel turned his back on me. I swore I'd have my revenge, no matter what the cost.
You want to take revenge on a god?
Auriel himself may have been beyond my reach, but his influence on our world wasn't. All I needed was the blood of a vampire and his own weapon, Auriel's bow.
The blood of a vampire. Auriel's bow. It was you? You created that prophecy?
A prophecy that lacked a single final ingredient. The blood of a pure vampire. The blood of a daughter of Cold Harbor.
You were waiting all this time for someone with my blood to come along. Well, too bad for you. I intend on keeping it. Let's see if your blood has any power to it.
What trickery is this?
Where'd you come from?
The prophecy hand approaches!
That'll teach you.
Farewell.
He heals quick. Not quick enough. Ah.
So the deed has been done. The restoration of this way shrine means that Verther must be dead, and the betrayed no longer have control over him.
They weren't really to blame, actually.
What? What are you talking about?
He was a vampire. He controlled them.
A vampire? I see. That would explain much. Deep inside, it brings me joy that the betrayed weren't to blame for what happened here.
Why?
Because that means there's still hope that they might one day shed their hatred and learn to believe in Auriel once again. It's been a long time since I felt that way, and it's been long overdue. My thanks to both of you.
Well, I guess you're welcome.
You risked everything to get Auriel's bow, and in turn, you've restored the Chantry. I can't think of a more deserving champion to carry it than you. If you wish to learn more about the bow, or obtain sun-hallowed arrows for it, I'd be more than happy to help. You've but to ask.
It's not as shiny as I was expecting. Still, it's beautiful.
What do we do now?
I think we both know. It's time to face my father. If we don't, he'll keep chasing us for the rest of our lives.
If we do, he'll have to die.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. It's not easy, but I don't think we have much of a choice. No, this has to end here and now.
Alright, let's do it then.
If we head back to the castle and kick the front door in, we're gonna be knee-deep in his friends. Let's head back to Isran and let him see what we've got first. I'm betting he'll lend us a sword or two.
I trust you're faring well.
What will happen to the Chantry?
While it would fill me with joy to see the Chantry back to its former glory, that time has long since passed. Now that my brother's dead, It's quite possible I'm the last of our kind.
Well, I guess I've contributed to your extinction then.
There's no need for that kind of talk. I said it was possible. It's also quite possible that there are some other isolated conclaves of snow elves, nestled elsewhere on Nirn. I'll also assume Vertha didn't exactly give you the option to stay your hand.
True. What will you do?
For the time being, I will remain here, on the Overlook, and continue trying to keep the Sanctum free of the betrayed. You're always welcome to return here at any time, of course.
Can the betrayed ever be cured?
I feel nothing but sympathy for the betrayed, despite my actions against them. But I'm afraid that they're well beyond a cure at this point.
Why?
The twisted forms you've seen didn't occur overnight. It isn't a plague or a disease that ravaged our species. The dwarves may have stolen their sight, but it took many generations for them to become what they are today.
Then there's no hope.
Perhaps they'll never return to their former appearance. But over the centuries, I've noticed a rise in their intellect. If a line of communication could be established with them, maybe they can find peace. It's the only way they'll discover that they weren't always malignant. They were once a proud and prosperous race.
What can you tell me about the bow?
The bow was said to be carried by Auriel himself into battle against the forces of Lorkhan in ancient and mythic times. Its craftsmanship has no equal anywhere within Tamriel, and possibly beyond.
What can it do?
The bow draws its power from Aetherius itself, channeling it through the sun. Therefore, when an arrow is loosed from the bow, it produces a magical effect very similar to being burned by fire.
Interesting.
That's actually only a fraction of its potential. With sun-hallowed arrows, you would be able to produce a much more spectacular effect, causing bursts of sunlight to envelop your foes. The sunbursts would certainly hurt anything, but is especially devastating to the undead.
Your brother said something about using blood?
Well, using an arrow with the bow that's been dipped in blood may cause it to function differently, corrupting its purpose. That's, of course, if you're foolish enough to try it.
How do I get these sun-hallowed arrows?
I can actually assist you in that regard. If you were to bring me some good quality elven arrows, I could imbue them with the proper incantations and rituals.
Yeah, I think I have some of those, actually.
Absolutely. I can only do 20 at a time, so if you want the rest of your arrows blessed, let me know. Farewell, friend. May the warmth of Auriel provide you strength.
Aye.
The bow. You have Auriel's bow.
Indeed.
I've heard it described in tales, but I could never have imagined its beauty.
Well, it's go time now. We need your help.
Indeed. The day hasn't been won while Harkon still walks Tamriel. But what of Serana? Can she be trusted to lift a blade against her own kind, her own family?
She'll do the right thing.
I suppose that's as much as I can hope for. Let me address the Dawn Guard and then we'll be off. The men deserve to know that we finally gained the upper hand.
Everyone, gather round. Come on then, we haven't got all day. For too long, we've allowed these vampires to poison the night and kill our people. Now, we finally have the means to strike back. We now have Auriel's bow. The gods themselves have favored us, and we must answer with action. The time has come to finally put an end to Harkon and his unholy prophecy. We will march on their lair and destroy those wretched abominations so they can no longer corrupt our world. This is our fight, and this is our fate. This is the tide of the Dawn Guard! Abominations! This is it!
Between the eyes for me! It's time we take the fight to their door. Gather your things and rest well, my friend. We meet outside Castle Volkahar. Watch your back.
This guy still isn't coming.
Need something? Aye.
Wow.
Let's get indoors. Or in a cave. Anywhere, just out of this.
I think we got a battle to fight right now. Let's do it. Get these around good there, but he's in my way. Is that all of them? We all clear? Alright. Where are they at?
Serana, my darling. I see you still favor keeping a pet.
You know why we're here.
Of course I do. You disappoint me, Serana. You've taken everything I provided for you and thrown it all away for this pathetic being.
Provided for me? Are you insane? You've destroyed our family. You've killed other vampires, all over some prophecy that we barely understand. No more. I'm done with you. You will not touch him.
So, I see this dragon has fangs. Your voice drips with the venom of your mother's influence. How alike you've become.
No. Because unlike her, I'm not afraid of you. Not anymore.
And you. It appears I have you to thank for turning my daughter against me.
Sure.
I knew it was only a matter of time before she'd return with hatred in her heart.
Yeah, born of you.
A small price to pay for the betterment of our kind.
Your kind is about to come to an end.
Yes, yes. Always the noble vampire hunter. And what happens when you've slain me? Is Valerica next? Is Serana?
This is about more than killing vampires.
Ah, of course. The prophecy. You've come here to stop me from taking Auriel's bow and shrouding the world in darkness.
Yeah.
Yes, quite. I'm growing weary of speaking to you and my traitorous daughter. I'll give you a single chance to turn over the bow to me. There will not be a second.
Alright, yeah, sure.
Little
Here you go.
patience.
Dick.
Can't hide from us.
Where'd he go? Oh, he's invisible. I see him. Stop running. Come get your medicine. nonsense. That'll do.
I'll rend the flesh from your bones.
That's right in the face.
I will darken their eyes.
Oh, I wonder if you can't hurt him in mist form.
I'll rend the flesh from your bones.
Powers are nothing. Well, now that's done.
What now?
I'm not sure. I'll probably stay with the Dawn Guard for as long as they'll let me. They're respectable fighters, and I think they see the benefits of having a vampire on their side now. Of course, if you've got any more adventures planned.
Indeed. I'd love to have you along.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Not really. I don't really want her along. It's just trying to be nice. Oh, I want you to turn me into a vampire. Okay, interesting. The vampire snow elf said something about vampire blood and the bow.
It sounds like that's the last bit of the prophecy. The blood of a daughter of Cold Harbor can corrupt the bow.
Well, you are a daughter of Cold Harbor.
So I am. I guess we could use my blood. Do you have any arrows? Elven arrows? I'm not going to just bleed on any old thing.
I do, actually.
I think you'll need to find some arrows first. Only elven ones will work for this, remember?
Oh, shit. I turned them all into sun arrows. What does that even do, I wonder? Okay.
So, the beast is destroyed. It's over. He's dead. And the prophecy dies with him. I suppose this is difficult for you.
I think my father really died a long time ago. This was just the end of something else. I did what needed to be done. Nothing more.
I think perhaps. I think you did more than that. You have my thanks.
So what's up, Eastron? You done being grumpy now? Well, you won't even talk to me. Alright. And that's going to be a wrap. Thus concludes the Dawn Guard expansion. But we're not quite done yet. We're going to come back next time, getting into the Dragonborn expansion. Until then, thank you all so much. Please like and subscribe. This has been Honest Man, and I'll see you next time with more Skyrim.